Well, hello, and welcome to HeartWise, the Ginger Sage way on how to reduce your cholesterol naturally. We're going to be covering today 7 foods that you can start eating now that will help you naturally lower your cholesterol. We're also going to talk about some foods that you should avoid if you're trying to reduce your cholesterol. And most importantly, I've got as an upsell the most incredible list of top 5 supplements that will help you lower your cholesterol in just 90 days. And these aren't supplements that you're going to have to take the rest of your life. They'll literally, you take them for 90 days and it will reset your baseline cholesterol levels, and you'll be super happy you did. It's all natural, no side effects, and it's an incredible protocol. So we hope that, I want you to watch this class, but if you were like, man, just give me the results, then just grab that download, get them ordered and get started. But then again, come watch this class. We've got some great information. Now, to start, what I actually do want to start with is what I call some important considerations. Now, most people, they hear that cholesterol is so bad, it's been demonized over the years, but as more science have been made available, we're actually finding out that while cholesterol levels are important, it's actually inflammation in the body that leads to chronic diseases. So inflammation coupled with high cholesterol. So I want to make sure we make that important clarification. We have a class on inflammation if you want to learn more about how you can reduce inflammation in the body, because that is truly key and crucial. Please make sure you sign up for that class or find it on our website under the resources or master classes. But today we're just going to be focusing on cholesterol. This will be part of your handout so you can read over it, because I do want you to be aware of how many great benefits there are to cholesterol. Just some that I'll highlight here. It's an important brain nutrient that is essential to the function of your neurons. Cholesterol plays a role in building cellular membranes and the communication network of nerves. In fact, when I first got pregnant, I got pregnant with triplets. And I remember I went in to meet with the doctor, and my cholesterol levels were through the roof. And thankfully, the doctor, he specialized in multiple births. He was like, oh, completely normal. You got 3 babies inside you, and they need cholesterol to develop the neurons. And he explained a lot of these things. So I think that's really important. It would have been very detrimental because I had gone into my family practitioner, and he had told me I needed to get on cholesterol meds, which I am so glad I didn't listen. And I'm so grateful for the knowledge that this other doctor had about how important the cholesterol was. All right, cholesterol is also a precursor to important hormones like vitamin D or steroid hormones such as testosterone, progesterone, DHEA, and cortisol. And since you can read, I won't go over all of this, but just one more. Cholesterol helps deliver nutrients to the brain from the bloodstream via a carrier protein called LDL. So you've heard of that before. That's the low density lipoprotein. All right, so we really just want to be concerned about the imbalance that can happen when you have meaning that you have higher LDL levels and lower HDL levels. So it throws off the LDL HDL ratio, and you'll notice that in your blood work usually, or that's what the doctor will sometimes go over with you. This imbalance in combination with low level inflammation in the body is what can make you susceptible to disease. And the main causes of cholesterol imbalance include a nutrient deficient processed diet. We'll be talking about that a little bit today. Lack of exercise, stress, hormonal imbalances, toxins, and hypothyroidism. So again, if you want to learn more about how to reduce inflammation in the body, be sure to sign up for the inflammation class or go snag it on our website. And we also have the nutrition class, which is super, super important for helping to reduce inflammation in the body. Okay, with that being said, why don't we jump right into some of the foods that we should be eating if we want to lower our cholesterol naturally. First one is turmeric. I love turmeric, but most people don't want to just eat turmeric. They don't think it tastes super delicious. So what I've done is we've linked to some powder that you can use. I sprinkle this powder in soups and on salads, and it's totally delicious. And if you're like, yeah, no, I'm not putting powder on stuff, then we got a link to a supplement that you can grab. I didn't put it in the top 5 supplement stack list because I'm putting it here as a food. Just know, get you some turmeric and your body will thank you. All right, garlic. Garlic is super rad. So not just for vampires, my friends. Well, it can keep vampires away. It can also keep cholesterol at bay. Bam. Okay, consume this daily for at least 2 months, and the studies show that it can naturally lower cholesterol levels and reduce the risk of heart disease. Now, you may start, I remember a time when I was eating so much garlic that when I would sweat, I could smell the garlic. So that can be a problem. But, if someone doesn't like the smell of garlic, then maybe you guys shouldn't be together. Just kidding. Don't take any of my relationship advice. Okay, raw carrots. I actually learned something about raw carrots this week from the ultimate ginger sage, Shania. She taught me that baby carrots are soaked in formaldehyde and we should not be eating those, which was a travesty because I probably ate like a couple pounds of baby carrots a week. And so now I will only be eating big, organic, raw carrot. So just be careful with the carrots that you're consuming because you do not want to put additional toxins into your body. There is so much I did not know about nutrition. There is so much you can learn. Let's talk about superfood number 4, sweet potatoes. I love sweet potatoes. See, sweet potatoes are loaded with soluble fiber, which helps the body excrete cholesterol by binding to bile acids. And the skins actually contain more than potatoes, so be sure to include the skin. I personally love the taste of the skins. I think I love the texture. And then also, have you ever made sweet potato fries in your air fryer? If not, you should. They are super delicious. In fact, the air fryer is like bomb. Okay, green tea is number 5. Green tea. I'll be honest, I don't consume a lot of green tea. I'm not a big tea drinker. But if you're going to be drinking tea and you want to lower your cholesterol, this is the one. It's rich in polyphenols such as catechins, and studies have shown that drinking green tea can decrease levels of total and LDL cholesterol. I've actually linked to 2 we recommend. One is a peppermint flavored green tea. So check them out, and I'm sure you'll find one super delicious. Okay, now here's one that we can all get behind. Probably my favorite way to lower my cholesterol is to just eat dark chocolate. Of course, we have to add in moderation, but I think like a bar a day could keep cholesterol at bay. Dark chocolate is loaded with antioxidants, and eating good quality dark chocolate in moderation can increase HDL levels while decreasing LDL levels. We love these bars that we've linked to and some cocoa nibs, as well as some cocoa powder. If you like to cook, which I'm assuming many of you do, cocoa powder can make some really great stuff. And the 7th superfood that you should all be eating if you want to lower your cholesterol are avocados. I love, love, love avocados. They're loaded with fiber, potassium, and good fats. And therefore, they've been shown to increase HDL levels while decreasing LDL levels. I put a lot of avocado on my Cobb salad every night, and I do love me some good guacamole. Not hard for me to eat any of these foods we just talked about. Okay, now let's talk about the foods we should avoid. First are refined carbohydrates. And if you're like, what the heck are those? That's pretty much what most Americans eat. All right, they're commonly found in white bread, pastries, and sugary snacks, and they can play a detrimental role in your cholesterol levels as well as your overall health. They cause rapid spikes in blood sugar and in our insulin levels. So these fluctuations can actually lead to inflammation, which is a precursor to the hardening of arteries. Furthermore, excessive intake of refined carbs has been linked to an increase in the level of small, dense LDL particles, which are particularly harmful as they can lodge into the arteries more easily than the larger LDL particles. So by avoiding or significantly reducing refined carbohydrates, one can naturally work towards better cholesterol levels and a reduced risk of heart disease. So right there, that's kind of money. Now, we also want to avoid processed foods. I pretty much tell my kids anything that comes in a package is probably processed food. I just prefer whole food diets. I try to eat clean, and I feel much healthier and better when I do. So this is something that we just don't have a lot of processed foods in my house. And growing up, we didn't have a lot of them either. So if this is something that you currently are doing, it's where your biggest bang for your buck can come. Like, if you can train yourself to reach for not baby carrots, but carrots instead of chips, or apples or nectarines and peaches and bananas, like I have never yet met a kid or a person who didn't love all of those things, or grapes or veggies. Like when my kids are over and they're friends, if I cut up apples, bananas, grapes, and if I put out like broccoli and carrots and peppers, I do have to admit, if I put out a bunch of veggies, I usually have to put out dips for the teenagers to go for it. But the fruits, they just chow down. So I know you can substitute these items and people will love them. I'll let you read about all the reasons why you should avoid processed food, but let's just tell you, they are not good for your cholesterol. Okay, and they definitely lead to inflammation in your body, which, as you may recall from the beginning of the class, inflammation coupled with high cholesterol is what we really need to be concerned about. And this is why, too, our nutrition class is so great. You guys should definitely sign up. Okay, we should avoid high sugar foods. Now, I don't want to demonize sugar. I definitely try to avoid it, especially things like soda pop or anything with high fructose corn syrup in it. But high sugar foods can definitely negatively impact our cholesterol. Excessive sugar intake can lead to weight gain, fostering the buildup of harmful fats in the liver, which subsequently elevates LDL, which is the bad cholesterol, which I'm pretty sure you already know that because you're in class. Concurrently, high sugar consumption reduces the level of good cholesterol, or HDL. That further disrupts that balance. Remember how we said it's the balance that really matters? So consuming too much sugar can result in increased triglycerides, which is another lipid that, when elevated, is linked to heart disease. So let's just say not a friend to the heart. So let's go ahead and cut back on some of those high sugar foods. It not only will aid in helping you balance your cholesterol levels, but it will also diminish the risk of heart disease, diabetes, and other related conditions. And my friends, that's a huge win. So if I can encourage anything, it is to prioritize a diet low in sugar. It's an effective step towards improved heart health and overall well-being. All right, trans fats, often labeled as partially hydrogenated oils. If we're going to demonize anything, let's demonize the trans fats because they are really not good for you at all. It's like I would just put a big X over it and say steer clear, run away. Their impact on heart health is alarming, okay? There's countries that have banned trans fats, and many of them are working towards like having them completely disallowed in any type of food for human consumption by a certain date. They've been shown to significantly raise LDL, which is the bad cholesterol, while simultaneously decreasing HDL. So it's like a double whammy. It's killing off the good cholesterol and building up the bad. Not what we want to have happen. And this, remember, imbalance in the cholesterol profiles, when we couple that with low-level inflammation, we will have chronic disease. And this also paves the way for atherosclerosis, where plaque builds up in the arteries, increasing the risk of heart attacks and strokes. Both things we don't want to deal with. I think I already told you they're linked to inflammation, so we don't need to go over that again. Literally, if you had to do one thing in your life, that would be like the most epic: eliminate trans fats. Okay, I feel like I've done a good deed now telling you about that. Okay, fast food. Wow. Fast food. This, for many people, if you want to lower your cholesterol naturally, we've got to try to stay away from fast foods. And you want to know why? Because fast foods, there's a lot of processed ingredients in fast food, trans fats. Most of them are fried in canola oil, which, as you know, is a trans fat. So it's just no bueno. And in fact, I eat fast food a lot because I travel a lot, and I'm able to find healthy options. Like you can always find salad or something that's not, like, when we say fast food, I don't want people to think eating out. Just be more mindful of your choices. And, I will drive across town to find a better restaurant or a Whole Food salad bar to grab some food at, or Zupa's, or a Cafe Leo. I guess you guys don't want to hear all the places that I like to eat out at, but I'm just letting you know that there are tons of healthy options and they can be super fun to eat at and try new things. And you can always pack your own food, which is sometimes really great too. Also, the high sodium content in fast food can lead to hypertension, which is another risk factor for heart disease. So if you can opt for whole, unprocessed foods over fast food, it's a total proactive step towards maintaining healthy cholesterol levels and promoting overall well-being. Thank you, everyone, for joining HeartWise, the Ginger Sage way to naturally reduce your cholesterol. And if you want to do it in 90 days, then make sure you get the top 5 supplements that we've listed down below for download and get those ordered and get started, because literally within 90 days, you will have reset your baseline cholesterol levels and you will feel amazing. Again, we back it by our 90-day money-back guarantee. If you test your cholesterol before you start these top 5 supplements, and you take them consistently over the next 3 months, we guarantee that your cholesterol levels will be reduced naturally. Isn't that amazing? It's awesome. So grab the download, get started, and we can't wait to hear about your results. See ya.